Hey, Ted, it's good to see you again.
Thank you.
You're the authority on tax liens and tax auctions and such. And question that folks have had: do you need a lot of money to start doing this? And what's the best way to get in, start doing it if you just have a little money?
Okay. Let me start out by telling you this. You can get in for just very small dollars. The challenge if you come in with small dollars is you're only going to make small dollars.
Sure.
So let me explain that to you a little bit. All right. So you want to get started and you want to test to see if this works. Well, then I'd say this is the perfect thing. You start out with small dollars, 500, 2,000, whatever it is. You don't need a bunch of money, and buy a tax lien certificate. Now, when you do that, you're going to buy a piece of paper from the government, just a piece of paper like I just waved at you, okay? Now, that piece of paper means that now you have a position in that property. And so you're either going to get paid or you're going to get the property. So only two things can happen with a tax certificate. You get paid, you get a property. So let's say you put $2,000 in, you bought one in Florida. Well, Florida pays up to 18%. Okay, so let's say you made 18%. The people come in and pay after 1 year, you made 18%. So now you know it works. So that's the place to start. But 18% on $2,000 investment, it's not very much money. You're not going to retire on that. All right, so let's give it some thought. Now, if you really want to be an investor, you're going to have money in an IRA account. Maybe it's in a Roth IRA. Maybe it's in a savings account. Maybe you're borrowing from your family to do it. Now you want to buy multiple tax liens. All right, now let's not buy the one that costs $2,000. Let's buy one that is a cost of $10,000. So now you're buying a bigger property.
Right.
It's got a bigger tax. So let's say it's $10,000. Okay, and now you make 18%. Well, now you made $1,800. Now we're starting to get it. So the point is you can start as a little guy if you want, but people that buy tax liens buy multiple. They might, the average guy that does that is going to invest $30, $50, even $100,000. It's a very conservative investment because you can't buy them from me. You can't buy them from Randy. You have to go and buy them directly from the government. I'm going to teach you how to do that online so you can sit at home and do it, but you're going to invest with the government. You're going to get a check back from the government. If you don't get paid, the property is yours. So it's a simple investment. Only two things can happen. You're either going to get paid or you're going to end up with the property.
That was the question, just to clarify. When I get a tax lien, I'm not the owner of the property. I'm just an investor, right? Unless,
right.
Can you explain? So can you explain how do I become the owner of that property then? What would happen?
Well, what happened is you raised your hand and you said, I'll pay someone else's taxes. Well, anybody that lends money, if it's a bank or a person, is going to make you sign a promissory note. They're going to want collateral. So if you go to the bank and say, want to buy a house, they say, oh, we'll be happy. Okay, give us the deed to the house or the ability to get the deed to the house, and we'll lend you all the money you want. Okay, and if you don't pay us, we get the house. All right, so the tax man does the same thing. Tax man, the government doesn't have extra money laying around. All the money that comes in, they spend it. So they don't have any money, so what they do is they say, folks, we need money to pay the sheriff, to pay the police, to pay the fire department. You get all that. They got to pay those things. So what they say is, these people didn't pay their tax. So if you'll come in and pay someone's tax, we'll give you this piece of paper. And the piece of paper says, if you don't get paid, you get the property. So this investment is secured by that property. This is a secure investment. If you don't get paid, the county's going to make sure you end up with that property. Well, you just bought a property for just the back taxes, which might be 2 or 3 or 5%. You bought a property for pennies. I've had people buy houses for $10,000 that were worth $180,000.
Wow!
Because they paid the tax. Who knows what happened to people? They died. They move away. I don't know what happened. People, you're not going to believe this. Some people are so rich they forget they own the property.
I'd like to be one of those
Happens
people.
Happens all the time. Florida and Michigan have the same problem. In Florida, they come here in the winter. Oh, I gotta have a house. So they buy a house. And they go back to Michigan. What if they pass away?
Oh, yeah.
No heirs. Well, the government here is going to say, you didn't pay the tax, they take the house. Michigan, the same way.
This sounds like this is a pretty powerful investment, opportunity out there. How long does it take to learn something like this?
Well, if you want to get complicated and really be a pro, it would take you a little over a year. The average person takes a couple of months they come to one of our classes, and then we teach them online how to do it. 90% of the people are just guessing when they go to these auctions. Go to an auction, you'll see 200 people there. Only 10% of them know what they're doing. 20% max. The rest of them are just, oh, it's an auction. And they buy, they don't know what they bought. People, you'll hear them say it at the auction. They'll say, okay, Gladys, let's go see what we bought.
Oh,
I don't have that
boy.
kind of money. I'm a conservative guy. I'm not going to spend my money on, I wouldn't do that. I mean, but people
You've been doing this a long time, so you kind of know what you're doing,
30
right?
years.
Huh? 30 years. So you can have 30 years of experience coming from Ted if you get. Hey, if somebody's watching, Ted, and they want to learn a little bit more, what's the next best step for them to do?
The easiest thing to do is just go to tedthomas.com with a slash. And the slash is going to say free. So to remember, put the slash in the free. Why? Because then you can go there and there's all kinds of free video. If you want to have a free auction list, you want to get to know this stuff, there's tons of classes there already on video. Now, I produce a lot of video, and why do I do that? Because it's the fastest way to learn, and you can watch it again and again and again, and you'll get it, I'll guarantee you.
So definitely check it out because there's so much to see there, and there's a lot more videos just like this one where Ted's sharing some of his insights about getting into this and what to expect and what it takes. And you can learn from the authority here, so be sure to check it out, tedthomas.com/free.